This is Van Electric Ghost. This is episode 172. We get deep into expansive sound. What you hear in the background is the amazing Teenage Engineering OPZ. And we'll just turn that down. It might be our new theme music. So what we did in the last couple of days is we've been working real heavy on our latest project, which is called Machine Love Is No Lie. And it's on SoundCloud. We've included the link. So this is what we do. Sometimes we actually, do it all the time. We put a lot of songs on SoundCloud. We put collections, and then those collections end up becoming Spotify and, iTunes or, Amazon.com full project albums. Like The Flower That Blooms at Midnight in the Tomb, which is still out there and will be available as a CD in maybe 3 or 4 weeks. But this project is a combination, again, of working with the OPZ from Teenage Engineering and working with our hardware workflow on our analog synths. So what we've been doing lately is Moog put out this new PDF of a patch guide that links the Moog Mother 32 to the Drummer from Another Mother, the DFAM, from this synth emporium that they had during NAMM called the House of Electronicus. And what we've done is use some of these patch ideas to create some new songs. So first up on this collection is one called Analog is the New Punk. And we have an understanding of electronic music today, and we know there's a lot of people using CDJs and using Pro Tools, and they're using DAWs. But I think what happens is sometimes these DAWs and these Pro Tools and machines try to suggest that you stay in the same key. They suggest that you keep the BPM really tight, and you lose all of the creativity that you get from like a real rock band. And I'm saying real rock bands, I mean a band that actually plays instruments, and actually goes into the studio. And sometimes the little micro mistakes or key changes that you do with a live band are something that brings character to a song. And if you let a machine tell you that you're going to keep the BPM at 160 through the whole song, that you're just going to do a drop, as a traditional EDM structure or trance structure, you're not going to deviate from that. You're not going to try anything new. And it's eventually going to get to be too much of a formula. And then the sound's going to be anesthetic, and it's not going to have any life to it. Now, the dance crowd might bounce to it, but from a creative standpoint, it doesn't have a lot of, bones to it, because you're just going on your DAW and you're making perfect music that has no character. So it becomes like, Mick music, fast food music. And I'm sorry if that offends people, but that's truth, at least the truth I see. So if you use an analog synth, like a Moog, an Arturia, or Prophet synth, they have character. You create your own tunes, you create your own timbres, you create your own sounds. You don't just go onto a DAW and pick a sound patch that from a soft synth and do some alterations that when you actually render it don't have the full power of a real analog synth. And there's nothing like a Moog, there's nothing like a Prophet, there's nothing like Arturias. You can get all the plugins you want, all the soft synths you want. They're not going to sound the same as a true analog synth. And I record directly into a Zoom R24, which allows me to take in a Moog signal right from the 1/4 inch lines, make it stereo with my mixers, and then provide a sound that has a totally different than what you hear in most electronic music. Like you listen to most electronic music bands, you won't hear what I'm doing, whether you like it or not, but it don't sound the same as everybody else. And we just got picked up by a pretty big producer that we're still not going to reveal yet because we just signed the contract, but it's kind of validation of my idea of hardware workflow, because we got picked up by a very big producer on a label. We got a song coming out, and it kind of validates what I'm trying to say. But Analog is the New Punk has my love of punk music, and I'm a big fan of The Clash, a big fan of a new romantic band like Joy Division. Also a big fan of Who's who, Bob Mould and Grant Hart are my heroes. They created a melodic punk music. They kind of continued the idea of the Clash, but did a like what you call power punk, like the way Big Star and Badfinger did like power pop, and that kind of punk aesthetic, like on the old SST label. If you go listen to Husker Du's albums, like Zen Arcade and New Day Rising, there's an authentic sound you get from letting music be raw, and this is what I'm talking about. So analog is new punk. We're using a Moog Mother 32 and a Moog DFAM and a Eurorack from Arturia called a 6U. We're using an Arturia Mini Boot 2S, and then we take advantage of the Make Noise Maths module, which is a utility module that lets you do exponential and logarithmic processing of signals. So what we are able to do with this is we created this combined patch from the Moog Emporium, where we were able to connect both synths. And when we connected both of these synths, we got this amazing sound. We're using a drone mode. That there was this patch idea to create a drone synth using the Mother 32 and the DFAM. And what's really cool about it is this drone sound that we're using is just, phenomenal. And then what we did that was a little different. So we took the original patch idea from the Moog House of Electronicas. There was, it was in this public display in Chinatown, LA from January 24th to the 30th. And we're actually looking at the document right now. So we're scrolling to the page that we want to get to. But we did this drone synth. And the drone synth was this very powerful, and we enjoyed it very much in terms of what we were able to do with it. But the thing we did that was interesting is when we took the signals from the VCAs on the Mother 32 and the DFAM, because on a modular synth, the VCA is the main output, the voltage controlled amplifier. And we ran it into the maths module. Now, what we do before that, to make sure we got the patches right, we run it directly into a mixer from Pittsburgh Modular. So we have a 2x4 mixer on our Eurorack that allows us to take like 4 signals and then output them into the Arturia 2S and then output that into an MX1 mixer where it goes from mono to stereo, and then it goes into our Zoom digital recorder mixer. And that's where we get a lot of magic there. So it's pretty complicated compared to just recording through an audio interface, I would say. But what we're using is called the patch called the Aftermath, if anybody has that book, Electronicas. And it's you can add some darkness is what it describes, and this is what this song is about. So beyond that, when we bring it into the maths module, it allows us to do some really cool things with the tones. So because the Moog is creating this kind of kick drum, this analog kick drum. And then the Mother 32 is creating this, a really heavy bass. But when we switch the modulation on the maths module, when we go into the logarithmic exponential and we actually turn on some of the cycling that can happen, we can deviate the signal, and we can kind of also, we can play the filter on a maths module like we play a filter on a Moog. And so we use the actual knob for functions on the maths module and the Mother 32 and the DFAM. So we are playing the knobs. We're playing the filters, what they say on Sonic State. And in Moogs allow you, the quality of the knobs are the transitions and the movement you can make with the knobs can be very musical. And so a lot of the notes that we're hitting are being done through the knobs on the actual synths, which is something you can't really do in a DAW exactly, unless you have a DAW that replicates knob per function capability. And even then, the tactile capability of actually touching a modular synth or an analog synth gives you the ability to really interact that is more musical than using your mouse. So in that way, you can have both hands on multiple dials and be hitting switches and doing all these things that are physically in real time. If you've ever seen Radiohead on stage, they take their modular rigs and they do this. Also Wilco, when they're on stage, they take their Euroracks and they actually play the instruments by using the knobs on the filters and the VCAs and the VCFs and the envelopes, and they play with them. They even sometimes switch CV signals directly on their Euroracks, and that's how this song was created. It's got a pretty heavy punk aesthetic, and those who don't get offended, we have this idea of this like crucifuck, which is like you're basically kind of doing damage to yourself. And this song talks about somebody going and doing every drug possible at midnight. So they're self-destructive. They're using their body to also be self-destructive, and they're being pretty reckless with sex and drugs. And then they're also into this heavy punk aesthetic. Now, we're not trying to promote the punk aesthetic as being so out of control, but this song is kind of about somebody being very experimental and out of control, and they're going in that direction. And we're not promoting that, but this is the kind of character that Josephine is. You got to remember, Josephine Electric is a ethereal ghost, supernatural being, and she can kind of be as self-destructive as she wants because she's never going to die. So she can do things that a regular person or moral, we wouldn't promote that you should do that. But her character can get really dark and get into the dark scene of life, and which is part of the idea of our Dark Ghost series of albums is that she can go there. But you don't want everybody to follow her. We would not want our fans to do what Josephine or Stephanie do, because you might not survive. So the next thing we were talking about is this other song that we actually did on the OPZ. So we did this song we call Wretched, Direct Effect, and it's basically Josephine and Stephanie talking about going to some kind of party, and she's a dominatrix. You can guess what kind of party it is, but they're at this party, and they're getting they're kind of being critical of the people at the party, because they're just saying that that they're just not very impressed with the men at the party. They're thinking that they're kind of like not really into it. They're not as active as they should be, and they're just like criticizing them and being very they really get into it. They're basically saying that they've got limp members, and they can't get it up. And Josephine and Stephanie are very sexual beings, and they're not very impressed with people who aren't up to speed. And this song was done with an OPZ, and then we ran it through an MX1 mixer to give it some heft, and then we added some electronic analog sounds through the same thing we were just talking about with the other song. We used the Moog, and we used the mixer, the MX1 mixer with the Moog, and both Moogs. We used the DFAM and the Mother 32 to provide some heft. So just a listen of this particular song. So that song is pretty different in that it's got a lot of atmospheric effects because of the analog sound. So what you can do with these analog sounds or controls from these modular synths is you might not necessarily be able to replicate this exactly in concert. It's kind of like a jazz musician. If I did this, I probably can't get back to the exact characteristic of the song. Now, to solve that, because everything's been recorded into the Zoom R24, I've got wave file stems. So if I want to exactly replicate this song, I can take my wave file stems and I can actually run them from my Zoom, and I can mute and unmute tracks in the Zoom. And I've actually used the Zoom R24 live and then played over it with some live tracks. The other thing to do is to actually take those wave files and bring them in as clips into like something like a like a MPC or an Akai force. And what our future thought is that we would go and take a song like Wretched Effect, Erect Effect, and take the stems from the Zoom and record them as clip samples and audio tracks into projects in the Akai, and then have those in the Akai, and then be able to bring them into the standard that the world is into, like, be able to maintain the same BPM and all that. But we could also not maintain the same BPMs because we want some like jazz and fusion like effects. But it would allow us to have all of our stuff. And also the Akai Force has the ability to have a nice hard drive, put input into it, so you could actually have a big library. And our idea is to take all the Ghost raw material, put it into, SATA drive, load them as clips, put them into projects, and then be able to run a show, but not run exactly like a DJ. We have a fader that can go from A to B on a Force, but you can also like link a Eurorack, so we could still have our Eurorack linked. We could have our Juno and our System 1M and a lot of other synths that we have connected to this thing, that have the central control mechanism to be able to do something that's a little bit more in depth and more in tune with like an actual musician than a DJ. So you could actually play the Force. You can play the keys. You can play the synth engines inside of it. You could actually use it to, play a modular synth. So in this way, you can do more live interaction with the audience, which is what our big point is with what we do. Now, Get Stepped On, Go Play Fetch is another OPZ combination track. And it's just an interesting track where we spent some time building up the beats. It's very kind of dissonant. It's got, the key change is not exactly in sync. It's on purpose. And we just went to this idea again that Josephine's a dominatrix, and she's basically, saying somebody better go play fetch. She's kind of, taking this dominant role, and it's a bondage game. And she's, just saying that, she's in control. She's the alpha, and that's the continual theme that she likes to do. And so it's kind of a variation of Wretched Erect Effect, but it's a little different. You can get into it and see if you like it. But we think the other song we did here is Crucifug, which this one is a pretty interesting one. Where the OPZ, we actually went and took the work to actually take every track that we used on the OPZ, the kick, the snare, the hi-hat, the sample, the bass, the lead, the arpeggio, the chord tracks. So those are 8 tracks that we recorded separately as stereo tracks. So there are 16 tracks on the Zoom that have all this percussion and all this sequenced synthesis that we brought into the Zoom. So we have different levels on each one of those, and we can manipulate them. So we have stem files for all those. They're stereo stem files. And then we brought in our Roland Juno GI doing the guitar, which is like an electric guitar sound that we can do on the Juno. And we've been kind of famous for doing electric guitar from our Facebook Live performances with our Juno. Because it's got that supernatural capability that Roland has that you get from their supernatural series of modules. And you can see that in their FA08. You can see it in their Integra module. And it was also available on some of the Junos have these supernatural sounds. As long as also the JDXA and XI have these sounds. And so we use them a lot. And it has a really good behavior. The thing about the supernatural is the behavior of the modulation wheel allows you to pitch bend and do feedback and do very much guitar-oriented playing. And once you learn how the keyboard responds and it behaves like a guitar player, I spent like 5-6 years learning how to play my Roland as a guitar. And I've actually had some people, think that I've actually played guitar. And when I played in New York City at some clubs, people thought it was a guitar, which is a good compliment. And sometimes I think playing it on the Juno is more impressive to people than if you had a guitar. Because if you have a guitar, there's a lot of people that kind of deride guitars and come down on people doing that. But when you actually play it on the Juno, then and people seem to be more impressed. So it's kind of made me kind of step back and wonder if I should get the Roland Axe Edge or not, because maybe I would get laughed at doing that on there compared to doing it on the Juno. The Juno seems to be, it seems to be more impressed doing it there. But this song, Hate You to Love You, Crucifuck, is it's got this punk aesthetic, because what we did, we took the beat, which is kind of a techno electronic beat. It's very sequenced. And then we put live chord and lead playing on this Roland Juno GI, Integra type sound, supernatural sound. So we played that. And then we have a Josephine electric vocal coming off of a VT3 that we used. And this song is this total punk aesthetic. So it's inspired again by like Husker Du, one of our favorites. And the idea also is kind of a Joy Division idea to it, because the industrial kind of beat, but it's very loose, crunchy punk aesthetic guitar playing. And we're very excited about the music we've been doing. We've got, 2 labels we're in touch with. We've actually signed for a single release with a big producer that's well known in the industry. We're going to announce that later when we know about the release date and we firm it up. But we just want to tell folks that, when it comes to electronic music, you shouldn't constrain yourself to any particular genre, mechanism, or any particular tool set. You should be willing to explore analog, digital sampling, DAWs, hardware recording, tape recording, collaborating with, multiple people, from like a jazz musician to a punk rocker to a traditional DJ. I think the music industry needs people who are willing to take it everywhere and don't be constrained by a particular beat. Don't be constrained by dubstep, trance, EDM, synthwave. Go back to the originators like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Keith Emerson. Go back to what Pete Townsend did with his experiments with the EMS on Bob O'Reilly and Won't Get Fooled Again. Look at what Stevie Wonder did note by note on Songs of the Key in Life. And look at what Bob Moog said. When he built the Moog, he said it was meant to be played live. And what I mean, if you're playing a synthesizer, you should actually play it live, because the instrument, especially analog instruments, they can be very impressive in a live setting. So I like the idea of like DJs integrating modular synths into their setup and being able to kick them off with controllers like Rollies and other types of controllers from like Make Noise. If you look at the Renee and you look at the stuff that Analog Solution has, really unique sequencers. And so anything that gets you into thinking, even like the Akai Force, like that, I think the Akai Force sequencer and their pad mechanism is something that a lot of DJs should actually look at, because I believe that using that to kick off your samples and your trigs and your scenes, I think that would be more interesting and have you be a lot more dynamic in what you're doing, so you can concentrate on the art instead of the performance of jumping and not actually even touching your rig. There's always need for performance, but as a pure musician, I like to see people do things from a musician's standpoint and actually play their instrument. And DJs can play their instruments. If you go back to original hip hop, people like MF Doom, the Bomb Squad, you can see the artistry of early hip hop and the creativity of actually using vinyl turntables. So it's not that these art forms, the DJs can't be very innovative and expressive. I think sometimes they get caught into just providing a cookie cutter, fast food style music. And I think they need to look at the artistry of it. And all I'm saying is try to innovate and bring new technology and even old technology, like a mini Moog or an EMS synth or getting a Buchla synth, and bring it on stage and bring that energy of that organic style sound to your music. So that's it for this episode. Check out her natural X CBD oil. We've got a sponsorship there, and you should check it out. It's really good. If you've got some health problems, it's an alternative to really using pharmaceuticals. Check out natural X CBD oil.
Sometimes the road is rough. Sometimes you got double clutch. Sometimes not enough. No, you've been crucified. When the world is too rough, you gotta go to every drug. You gotta cruise and sit up. You gotta do every drug. You gotta do every love. You gotta do every love. You got stuck in mud. You gotta double your clutch. Oh, you or nothing is too much. Oh, you or nothing and too rough. Going deep into that stuff. At midnight, you're gonna do every drug. I love it, punk. I got more than enough in my trunk. I got double clutch to get stuck in that mud. You know when you lose, you got crucified. Really deep in a club, you can do every drug. While you're searching for the truth, you're searching for love. Well, you know it all turns to rust. And the only thing you can trust is crucified. No, that dude wants it rough. And that right girl, oh, she can't get enough. I gotta do it midnight, every drug. They're gonna dive deep to the bottom for that rust. And it's chained up, bondage, love. Oh, you know, you're gonna get crucified. More than enough to take you up. More than enough to take that lust. To take that lust. Cause in anything you can't trust, you're just gonna be crucified. When you're stuck in a mud, you got double clutch. You know that it's not enough. You know I like it dimly, but it's not enough. Oh, I gotta finish for that crucifix. Analog and digital, on it rough. Girls and boys flipping platters, but it's not enough. Analog and digital, if you want it rough. Gotta feel that tick pump in my double clutch. If you get stuck, can't use it on a panic, out of a crucifix. Double clutch. If you get stuck, like fun. Gotta do that cushion bump. Don't clutch if your life is stuck in mud. Gotta clutch, that's how you get out of a cushion bump. Analog, no pump. At midnight, you're gonna do everything right. Analog is the new pump. At midnight, you're gonna do everything right. Analog is the new pump. Midnight, you're gonna do everything right. Analog is the new pump. No clutch, get out of that cruise that fuck. Analog is the new pump. Analog, get out of that cruise that fuck. You got flippin' platter, a CJ. Way to get to an early grave. A flippin' platters on CJ. How you can get to an early grave. Flippin' platters on CJ. That's how you get to an early grave. Don't know if you're hood, but I know you're the best. Don't know what comes next. You got to definitely got the best. Now when you smash, you're such a pretty mess. And maybe hear the bass, but you hear that treble clef. You're, I know, rich. And need a dope bass. Get it? Hear it. And don't fret. And go play step and fetch. You don't know which chord comes next. You're stepping in from the best. No, that you're past the test. If you get wrecked. No, you're that little wretch. It's all over the little class.
This is Family Electric Ghost, and we're working with Natural X, who is a distributor and manufacturer of CBD oil. Now, you shouldn't settle for inferior CBD oil. Natural X is not an inferior CBD oil. It is the superior CBD oil. There are no additive chemicals. It's available in all 50 states. It's water soluble. It's high absorbing, full spectrum CBD with terpenes. Now, the difference between THC and CBD, you might not know. So THC is a psychoactive portion of cannabis and is commonly found in marijuana in higher amounts and is very low, if any, in the hemp plant. CBD is a cannabinoid devoid of psychoactive effect. In other words, you can't get high from CBD. After THC, CBD is by far the most studied natural cannabinoid and is gaining popularity faster than THC because of its healthy properties without drug side effects attached to it. So if you click on the link that we're going to provide in a couple minutes, you'd be able to get this really good CBD. So why would you take Natural X CBD? Well, it's the most stable, longest lasting, highest absorbing CBD. It's fast. It's got 15-minute absorption rather than slow 60 to 90-minute peaks. It's the highest absorption rate in the industry. It's real CBD oil, not liposomes or nanoparticles. It's got a super long shelf life, can store for 2 years, no need for refrigeration. It's made from hemp, not marijuana. It's clean, healthy, organic hemp, sourced from the best farms. It's full spectrum, top quality hemp CBD, not cheap CBD isolates. Enjoy the healthy entourage effects of full spectrum CBD oil. It's not addictive, and there's no psychedelic drug effects. It's available, as we said, in all 50 states. Easy to use, to swallow a little every day. Tastes great, no disgusting, oily, bitter taste. Best value in hemp CBD, you get more usable CBD for your money. You save money by purchasing today with the special pricing from Natural X. It's proudly made in the USA, and there are no worries because you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you click our link, we've got a bit.ly link to make it easier for you. So the link that you use to be able to purchase this is bit.ly/2SV small b capital H V W. So let's do that again. It's bit.ly/2 capital S capital V lowercase b capital H lowercase b lowercase w. And we'll do that once more. It's bit.ly/2S capital V lowercase b capital H lowercase v w. Now this link is also on the podcast, so if you can't get it from here, just look at the podcast. You'll see the link there and you can just click on it. And I hope you enjoy this product, and we'll talk to you again. Keep on listening to the Family Electric Ghost Show because we talk about all kinds of things, and you'll be able to get information about all types of products like this product from Natural X, their Natural X CBD. Thank you.
I keep lost in, thrust into asphyxiation flow. I gotta hate it to love you. You gotta try me and fuck you. Now I'm lost with it, I should know. This one, I can tell you this term blue. Whether you're a dude, or whether you're just a student that I screw. I hate it to love you. You gotta try me and fuck you. So much lost with this, I should know. Your pain isn't but your fucking soul crew. Pain isn't but your fucking attitude. Your fuck so cruel, you're everything I'm about to do. So much lost with this, I should know. This one I can tell you this time blue. I know you do it with that girl and that dude. TRRL, that's true. Do. Let's keep our losses thrust into asphyxiation flow. Let's keep our losses thrust until it comes.